What's up, you guys? My name is Hutch, and welcome to Podcast and Chill. With me, as always, my co-host, Gio, Active Bunny Fufu. How are you doing this week?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. I went to a Christmas party last night.
Yeah, how was that?
I was nervous about it because it's like my girlfriend's work Christmas party, and it was
Yeah,
like the first time meeting all them. But it went well. Like everybody was super nice. She works at IGN, so like and like I always wanted to get into games journalism too. So I think part of me is still intimidated by that whole thing.
yeah,
Uh, but yeah, it was a good party. Nothing
that's
to
good.
freak out about. I don't know. I don't always do Christmas parties very well. I don't know how you feel about them, but
Yeah, I'm a bit iffy on them. It's just I'm not a big fan of Christmas anyway, so there's
really,
also that. Yeah, I've never been too big into Christmas.
okay. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever decorated your apartment?
Never. Decorated trees when I was like a kid and stuff.
So I did it for the first time last year in my adult life. Like took the initiative on my own without a spouse or anybody like motivating me. And I got
Hmm.
a Christmas tree. I got decorations and all that stuff and I put them up. And then I loved it so much that I just left my Christmas tree up for like 6 months afterwards. uh, my girlfriend now, she would never go for that, but we got a Christmas tree now. We got some lights up in the house. It makes everything more happy. I don't know how you how does one go about not liking Christmas? Was it just something that happened?
It
Like,
was nothing that happened. I don't know. I guess it's just I don't feel the same way that a lot of other people do during Christmas time and all that.
are you one of these Americans that are trying to stamp out a prized holiday, sir? Are you
Not
attack?
at all. Not at all. I do not push my beliefs and thinking and mindness to other people. I'm just not a huge fan of Christmas. Like I still buy people gifts and stuff
Yeah.
and things like that, and go through the motions. But I'm not a huge fan. I personally think that Halloween and Turkey Day are the superior holidays.
Halloween's a good time. Good times. Yeah. I like New Year's now too. That's a new one. That's come up for me because I didn't really celebrate it before. Like the last
Yeah,
couple years though, I've been celebrating it and having a lot of fun that way too.
yeah. New Year's
But
parties have been a lot of fun the last few years for me
yeah.
as well.
Lots of good stuff that I saw this week. What did you watch
I saw Whiplash
for the first time?
first.
For the
Yeah,
first
for the
time,
first time. It was really, really good.
it's
Um,
phenomenal,
I've
huh?
I've never seen a movie where I hated both of the main characters. Like they were just both the biggest douchebags
Yeah,
throughout the movie.
I didn't have the response of hating them, but you do raise a good point that like both those characters are not really
They're
redeemable in a
not
lot of ways.
they're likable for the wrong reasons, I guess.
But then that last, like, spoiler alert for anybody who's watching, but then that last like drum solo scene, for me, I took that scene to mean like this is why we're assholes because we're so fucking brilliant at this. So
Yeah, and
like
then
I
like
took the movie to me to be sort of like I took the main message to be that you pay a price for that kind of musical brilliance
yeah, yeah,
and you make
that's
sacrifices
what I got
and
from it. And also J.K. Simmons' character kind of found his star, what he was talking about in the bar. He was saying how he's trying to find his I forget that what art with musician he named, but
which
he was just trying
character?
to J.K. Simmons,
Oh, his character. Yeah.
Black Fletcher. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He was looking for his like number one, basically, like his star.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like the realization that he found it at the
Yeah.
end of that. That drum solo was really good too.
It's
Did
one of my favorite movies of all time, I think.
It's really good.
It's
It's
up there.
fantastic. I highly recommend if any of you listeners have not seen it, it's such a good watch. Then I watched Mission Impossible Rogue Nation.
For the first
Um,
time?
yep, that was really good.
Yeah, I really like that
Solid
movie.
action flick.
Did we talk about that last week? I can't remember.
I think we did talk about it a little bit, and I said I was gonna watch it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I
Um,
really dug that movie. I listened to another movie podcast they were talking about this week, and they said that one of them didn't like it at all, and I didn't understand. But yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite action movies of the year. Was Mission Impossible.
yeah,
Top
it was
top
really
five
good.
for sure.
I saw Dark Places last night.
What's Oh, is that
It's
the one with
the
Charlize
Charlie's
Theron?
there. Yeah, yeah. And
What is that about?
it's she is investigating the murder of her family basically that happened when she was like 12 years old. And she like finds this guy, actually the actor who plays Beast in X-Men now. I forget his name.
Nicholas Holt.
yeah, Nicholas Holt, comes up to him. He's an entrepreneur. He has a lot of money, and he comes up to her and he says, "I'll pay you money if you let my like murder club, basically, is where they solve like unsolved murders and like they and go deep into those stories and things like that. Um, if you let us like if you tell us your story, if you help us, find out what really happened, because she sent her brother to prison as a little girl, because she said that he did it basically. Um, so just that story of her actually figuring out what's going on. It's really cool how it's done because as she's like investigating things and stuff like that, they're doing flashbacks as well, like big set piece flashbacks. That's telling the story of what they're investigating basically. So you're seeing what she's doing to investigate and find out the truth, and you're seeing what's also happening at the same time.
Yeah.
So both stories kind of unfold at the same time. It's pretty cool. It was actually really good. It was really enjoyable.
That
It was a
might
nice
push me
little.
over the edge to watch it because I always scroll by it and it's one of those ones on Amazon where I'll always stop momentarily and consider
See,
watching
that's
it
what it
and then
was
I
like
move
for
on.
me. Like that's exactly what it. Like I keep seeing it. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna take the plunge and watch something I know nothing about and just screw it. And I'm glad I did. It was actually a pretty good a watch. It was definitely worth it.
We talked about it before too, but I think Charlize Theron is pretty much great in everything she does. She's
She's she is an awesome actress.
one of those rare actors that for me like just every role that she does is great. I loved her in
Yeah.
Hancock too. I mean, I thought that movie was like kind of underrated. If we were still
Uh,
doing that segment, I think Hancock would have eventually
I would
been on
agree
there.
with you. I would say I would agree with you. Even though the second half of that movie, like the last half of the second act and the rest of the movie was kind of
Yeah.
off-putting a little bit. That it kind of took a turn that I didn't want the movie to take a little
Yeah,
bit
an
because the first
unnecessary
half,
twist.
yeah, the first half was fantastic. Like the whole underdog superhero thing, that was great. I thought that was awesome. But the rest
Yeah,
of it kind of like lost me a little bit. But
and Jason
yeah,
Bateman, is that his name? Or Justin Bateman? Jason Bateman? I can't remember. He's really good in that too. The Charlize Theron's husband or whatever.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. He's also a good actor.
yeah,
Good old Arrested Development.
he's kind of the same guy in every movie he does
Yeah,
though.
he's that dry humor dad, basically, is what he always comes off as.
But you
Like
know
he
what
is.
though? He was in what's that new one called? The Gift or The Visit? What was the one where that just came out where did you see that one with a
I heard about the gift. Yeah,
I
I think
think
he
it's
was in
called
the
The
gift.
Gift, right? I can't remember what
Yeah,
it's called, but
I haven't seen it yet though, but apparently it's a great movie. I've been hearing a lot of people say good things about it.
well, if you haven't seen, I can't give away too much, but he does not play that character in that movie. It's like a
No?
lot. It's like a lot darker, a lot less kind of dry humor, that sort of thing.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a good one. What else did you watch? Did you watch anything else?
I only watched I watched the first episode of The Man in the High Castle. That was the other thing I
What
watched.
did you think of that? Because I watched that too a couple weeks ago.
I really liked it. The pacing was kind of slow, but story-wise, I really dig it. I think it's kind of like entrapped me just because of the world it's built and the kind of story it's trying to tell. So I'm gonna go deeper probably later this weekend, watch a
Yeah,
few more episodes and see what's really going on.
yeah, I found the story definitely compelling. Who wouldn't find that compelling? Like
Yeah,
considering the idea of what would have happened if the Axis had won.
yeah,
Um, but I found the pacing to be kind of slow. I was told by a friend who watched it that it picks up pretty quickly, like in the third or fourth episode, it picks up and it gets some steam. So I think I probably have to go back and watch that again. It's just I'm finding it's a little bit harder to kind of binge watch shows these days, just because there's so many good games out right now.
yeah.
Um,
That's the problem I'm heading into as well.
During the droughts, during like the game droughts, it's usually easier for me to just kind of like plow through a show like Jessica Jones or Man in the High Castle. But this time of year, I just most of the time I want to be playing video games,
Yeah,
um,
same.
or just watching a movie that's a less of a time commitment than watching a whole
Because
show.
it's a lot easier after like an 8 hour stream to sit down and watch a movie, then go to bed, than watch a series. It
Yeah, you make
seems.
a good point there. Yeah, you usually just want that one thing to zone out and then fall asleep to.
Yeah.
Do you fall asleep to movies every night? Because I do.
I fall asleep to TV shows. I watch movies and I fall asleep to TV shows.
Do you use the sleep function on your TV and have it
No,
turn?
I wake up and it's always on.
I just recently started using the sleep function. Like, why didn't I do that before? Why aren't you doing that? Just sleep on, and then when you wake up,
I just never remember to do it
boom.
because I used to do that as a kid. I remember doing that when I was like like the night before school. I would leave the TV on, but I always put the sleep function on.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I stopped doing it. I have no idea.
Well, let me tell you, it's useful, sir. It's useful. What else did you watch? Anything?
No, I think that was about it.
Well, that's
What
a
about
solid
you?
list. That's a solid list, friend. I think you did push me over the edge of watching Dark. What's it called? Dark Places.
Dark Places. Yeah, I would totally do it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna watch that tonight. So I saw one movie in theaters this week. Spotlight. Have you seen anything about this movie?
No, I've actually never heard of it.
It's a true story about this team of reporters at I think it's the Boston Globe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Boston Globe, and they did some work researching the Vatican or the Catholic Church's cover up of pedophile priests, and sort of shows like the process of what happens when a priest gets caught. Like instead of going to jail, it's settled outside of courts, and they're just shuffled to a different parish. And sometimes these churches or these priests would just they would I mean, this has been in the media since like I think early 2000s is when it really started to really pop up.
Hmm.
This idea of pedophile priests being a huge problem within the Catholic Church, and
Yeah.
and efforts to cover it up. Um, but but this movie, man, it was for me. It was a movie that was like fueled by the performances. The cast was really good. Michael Keaton kind of played the guy who's leading this team of reporters who don't answer to anyone except for maybe like one or two people. They don't and what they're working on, they keep classified. They don't tell any other of the reporters what they're working on, and that's to keep bias out of it. I'm guessing, or to maintain the ethics of or the integrity of their investigative journalism.
Yeah.
Mark Ruffalo's in it. He plays one of the reporters, and then Rachel McAdams, who I typically don't like, but she was really good in this too. The guy from Mad Men who also played old Tony Stark, or Tony Stark's dad in like the Iron Man 1 flashbacks. You know that guy who
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was in it too. There was a couple other people as well, but the movie really blew me away. It's a little long, so if you brace yourself for that. It's like 2 hours and 2 hours and 15 minutes, and it's not like an action movie, so you feel how slow it is sometimes.
Yeah.
But the subject matter was really interesting to me. I was raised Catholic, and the performances were, I mean, I thought like really Oscar-worthy performances in that movie. One of my favorites this year. I would probably put it in the top five. Fargo was on this week. I keep talking about it every week, but I want to get into it a minute here and talk to you, an outsider from the Fargo lore,
Okay.
about what's happening with the show right now. And I want to warn people listening that this is going to be spoiler alert. If you're interested in the show, then skip ahead maybe 5-10 minutes, and I won't be talking about it anymore. But
Is the show on Amazon at all or anything?
you can rent the first season on Amazon, and I
Okay.
think you might be able to. It's on Hulu. I know that.
Okay.
So just pay for Hulu Premium. You don't have to worry about those ads or anything. And but so the first episode of the second season, just randomly, a fucking UFO pops up in the middle of the sky at the end of the episode. As something else huge is going on, this UFO popping up interrupts that moment just for a moment, and then it flies off, and we haven't heard anything about it since. And then finally, and this was the penultimate episode. This is the 9th episode. Next week, or I'm sorry, Monday is the finale. Finally, it popped up again this week, and I just want to say, like, this show has nothing to do with aliens. Nothing. It's completely out of place, and it's so weird, and it's so awesome. Because, like, for the last 8 episodes, I'm like, okay, all this shit's going on, but can we fucking talk about the UFO? that we're just not going to talk about that anymore. And then finally this week, it came back, and so they're doing some crazy shit with that show. The writing is just on another level of awesome, and there's a fucking UFO in it now. So
I've heard nothing but good things, and I haven't jumped into it yet.
I also saw The End of Tour. That came out this year. It's about a writer named David Foster Wallace, I think his name is, who killed himself, I think, in like 2005. And
Mm-hmm.
the movie is about a Rolling Stone reporter that followed him around and interviewed him extensively for a piece. And I don't want to say anything else about the movie. I mean, I want to make it appealing because I thought it was really great. Jason Segel played the main character, and then Jesse Eisenberg played the reporter that was interviewing him. And this is
Mhm.
another movie for me that was fueled by the performances. I thought both of them did like a really outstanding job. I wouldn't be surprised if Jason Segel got nominated for an Oscar. Which, when you think about it, is
He's
really
like a very underrated actor, I think, Jason Segel, because he's really good.
he yeah, I think he's really good comedically, but I haven't seen him in a lot of dramatic roles. And
Yeah.
in his movies and his roles, like he's kind of got the same thing as Jason Bateman, where I feel like I'm watching the same guy. But that's not a bad thing. I kind of feel the same way about Seth Rogen, but I still love all of his movies.
Hmm.
But in this movie, it was not a comedic role in the slightest. It was a very, very serious, dramatic role, which isn't to say that it won't make you laugh because it was very cleverly written. And the entire movie is just basically conversations with this writer and a writer that's doing a piece on him. The whole movie is just conversations, and
Yeah.
so in that way, it's kind of like Kevin Smith sort of. But it was a really, really good movie. I would put my seal of approval on it. I watched Avengers: Age of Ultron again last night because I wanted
Yeah.
to go back and give that movie a second chance, like I did with Ant-Man, and I did like it a lot more the second time I watched it. So I think I'm figuring out that if I go into movies, like the less expectations that I have, the better off I am. So if
Yeah,
I'm
I've learned
expecting
that
it
a
to,
lot.
yeah, no, I cut you off. What were we gonna say?
Oh, I said I've learned that as well. To not judge movies too hard the first time going through.
Well, even more important than that for me is not going into it with this idea of what I think it should be, and
Hmm.
instead sitting back and allowing myself to be the audience and allowing the filmmakers to be the filmmaker. When I do that, I enjoy the movie because I really liked James Spader, his voice acting work as Ultron. I thought he was like really charismatic. Um, and he reminded me of Hannibal the Cannibal a little bit. So I watched Silence of the Lambs last night too.
Yeah.
Um, Seen that movie 1,000 times, but it just gets better every time. And you know what's funny about that? Have you seen that movie, by the way?
Yeah, I have.
What's funny about that movie is that the specific plot points are actually kind of hard to follow when you watch. Like, can you tell me about Buffalo Bill and can you tell me how they caught him in that movie off the top of
I
your head?
honestly can't. I can't remember. No, because I remember watching it a few times and like really trying to pay attention and still getting lost because they don't really expand and explain too much. Like
Here,
they don't go overboard in explanations.
no, they don't beat you over the head with it, but they do sufficiently explain what how Hannibal was linked to Buffalo Bill. And I figured out last night the reason why I think it's so hard to follow is because Anthony Hopkins is so good in that role. Like he's so scary and charismatic in that role that it's hard to focus on specifically what he's saying
Yeah,
because you're
yeah,
just so creeped out. So
yeah.
that's I mean that's a movie for me that's always a good idea to go back and watch. Hannibal the second one wasn't that great in my opinion, but then Red Dragon got better,
Red Dragon was really good.
which is
That
funny
Red
because I
Dragon was
think
actually what?
oh go ahead.
It was actually the first movie of that series I watched was Red Dragon.
Makes sense to start at the beginning.
Yeah.
I guess Brett Ratner actually directed that movie, which is kind of weird because he
Did
sucks.
he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. Let me double check that real quick. Um, Talk about something while I'm doing this real quick.
There also was. Did you ever watch the prequel, Hannibal Rising? I think it was.
I saw the trailers for it, but I never saw it now.
That was actually really good too. Didn't Brett
Really? I
Ratner
heard.
like
Yeah, it
direct
was. It was.
Hercules?
Yeah, it was. Hercules. Yeah, I think he directed that. He directed X3. He directed like Rush Hour movies. He's just generally a piece of shit, I guess.
Yeah,
In real life,
apparently.
yeah, it doesn't have the best reputation, but he managed to do a good job with Red Dragon. So there you go. Yeah, that's all the movies I watched this week. Uh, lots of good stuff coming out. I'm really excited for Star Wars and the Revenant and Hateful Eight. So I think that 2015 might go down as one of the best years just in media in general, like for TV, movies, games. I think it might cement itself as like one of the best of all time.
I have to wholeheartedly agree with that.
It's been a really good year, man. Good year if you
There's
want to
been
be
so much
entertained.
stuff to watch and play and things like that. It's been great.
All right, so we decided to switch things up a little bit, and I wanted to give myself a little bit of breathing room when we do these things. So I asked Gio if he'd read off the news stories that we pick out each week. And you have a bunch of stories in front of you, so let's kick that off.
I do. We're gonna start off with the trailer for Legend of the Tarzan that released a few days ago, I believe. It looks really good. As a fan of the actual book that was written in like 1940 or whatever, this movie looks great. I was never a huge, gigantic fan of Disney rewriting stories like that, even though they are classics and things like that. But have you watched this trailer
No,
at all?
is it live action?
It is live action, yeah. It's a live action Tarzan movie, and it
Yeah,
looks
they're
really
going
good.
back and they're doing like live action versions of all of them. I mean, why
Yeah,
wouldn't?
what
Why
they're
wouldn't
doing
they?
is they're doing like the source material stuff. Like they're doing the actual books, like the Little Mermaid movie that's coming out. It's based off of the actual book and not the Disney film
What?
and things like that.
There's a book that preceded the film? I didn't know.
Yeah, a lot of the Disney books or a lot of the Disney movies are based off of books.
Interesting.
Yep, a
Interesting.
lot of Disney movies are based off of very more violent and darker books. Like which one is it? Cinderella. You know the whole story with her and the glass shoe and all that. Well, the
Cinderella or
sisters.
Snow White? Yeah, that's
No,
Cinderella.
Cinderella. Her sisters were actually chopping off toes and cutting off their heels and things like that to fit in the shoe and things like that.
Yeah.
A
Interesting.
a lot of the Disney movies are based off of pretty dark stuff. But yeah, Legend of Tarzan looks great. It almost kind of looked like a little bit of like a Planet of the Apes movie, a little bit in some of the scenes, but it's definitely not with the direction they're going.
I'll have to watch
Um,
the trailer, but just hearing, I'm not a huge Disney fan per
this isn't by Disney
se. So it's like,
whatsoever. This isn't. You gotta
oh,
remember, this has nothing to do with Disney.
oh, I thought you were saying this was a live action Disney remake.
No, it's by Warner Brothers. It's Warner
Oh,
Brother Pictures.
okay.
It's a live action Legend of the Tarzan.
Who's in the lead role? Is it a known actor, or is it?
Alexander Skarsgård, I think is how you say his name.
Okay, I know that name, but I can't think of his
Yeah,
face off the
I
top
know
of
his
my
name
head.
too, but I don't think I've seen him in anything. I just seen his name around. I think he's a model as well. He's like this super sexy buff dude playing as Tarzan. And then
We
playing
had
as
a.
Jane is what?
Oh no, go ahead.
Playing Jane is Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie.
Margot? Is it Margot?
Yeah,
Okay.
she plays Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad. She was in
Yeah,
Wolf
yeah.
of Wall Street.
She's a really good actress. I really like her.
You know what? She's really funny too. If you look up interviews, she's from Australia, but she does
Yeah.
American accents so well. And if you just look up Margot Robbie accents on YouTube or accents interview,
Yeah.
then you should find some funny stuff.
She's also just smokingly hot.
Like
and
stupid
beautiful.
hot, like
She's
just
stupidly
stupid hot.
gorgeous.
Yeah, it's just not even funny how.
It's honestly unfair at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm interested. I'm down with it. It looks really cool.
That's not the only trailer that dropped this week, Gio. What
Not
else
at
came
all.
out?
X-Men Apocalypse.
I'm gonna work on
trailer
our
dropped.
segues. I'm gonna be our segue guy.
You're
Okay.
gonna be the segue man.
Yeah.
All right, cool. X-Men Apocalypse trailer dropped today. Actually, today I watched it like a few minutes before we started the podcast, and it was really good. We got to see a lot of characters we haven't seen yet. We got to see Nightcrawler, young Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Jubilee.
Yeah.
Storm, young Storm, and her mohawk and everything. I'm super excited about that.
Yep.
We got more shots of Psylocke, Havoc, Beast. They're all there, and I'm
Magneto.
really
We got a
excited.
bald Professor X. We got
At the end, we got a little spotlight of bald Professor X. It looks really good. I'm really excited.
And
We didn't really get to see Apocalypse too much in the trailer,
Oh, I'm
like
glad.
his face.
No, that's
Like,
good. That's good.
I felt like they did it on purpose.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm really
Following
excited about this movie.
Batman's like way too spoilerific trailer last week, this was to me like the perfect example of how to do, because it's like it sets up the tone, it sets up the plot kind of loosely, but it does not give you any specifics.
It
beyond
shows
that.
the characters you want to see.
Yeah.
You know, it shows
And
you things
he
that you
doesn't
want to
look
see.
like Ivan Ooze. He looks fucking incredible in this.
He looks
trailer.
really good.
Like the
He looks
stills,
really good.
the stills that they picked from Apocalypse, that they had on the cover of Entertainment Weekly, just looked so bad when it
They
came
were
out.
pretty awful.
And it like exponentially diminished my hype for this film, and then I saw this trailer and I was like, no, it's gonna be fucking sick.
Yeah, honestly, I've been finding myself judging trailers ever since Batman versus Superman trailer, like
Yeah.
off of that one. Like I compare it to that one, and it's, as long as it doesn't show as much as that one, like it's a good trailer to me now. Like I've been doing that a lot lately.
Yeah.
But
yeah, there was that scene too, because like X-Men has always been they've never done the sort of Avengers / DC Universe approach to comic book superhero films with huge scale battles and things like that. We've seen big battles. You know, I'm thinking about X-Men 3 and when they're fighting on Alcatraz and stuff like that. But even that wasn't like huge. And when they were marketing this film early on in interviews, the filmmakers and actors, everyone was talking about the scope of the film and how they had never done an X-Men movie this big. And I mean, Days of Future Past, I guess the scope is pretty big on that. But when you look at like the post-apocalyptic future part of it, that looked like a really big, scope.
Yeah.
But this trailer, I mean, I'm just really, really, really excited for this movie. I love Oscar Isaac as an actor, and I think he's
playing Apocalypse, right?
Yeah,
which is crazy because he looks nothing like Oscar Isaac.
Not at all.
I didn't even know that until today because I looked up the IMDb because he was playing Apocalypse, and it's ridiculous.
That scene where he's got Professor X on the ground pinning him with his hand, and he just becomes gigantic. What do you know about Apocalypse? Can you?
I don't know a lot when it comes to X-Men. I do know that he is one of the most. He's considered an alpha mutant, like class alpha, because he's one of the strongest mutants to exist. Because he can amplify abilities and things like that.
God,
I think it was
when Professor X was like, "I've never seen power like this," but like the way they closed that, I was like, "Oh God, I want to see this."
He's able to amplify mutants' powers. I know that. And I think it was him or Galactus who made Gambit. You know who Gambit is?
Yeah.
He literally turned Gambit into like death, basically.
Oh, that was a long time ago in the comics, right?
Yeah. And I can't remember if it was Apocalypse or Galactus. I don't remember which one, but I know it was something kind of in that world, the same thing to do with Apocalypse.
It was good to see like an evil Magneto again too, because like the Magneto we saw in the trailer did not look like he was getting along with anybody on the good side of things.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I didn't really like. I really liked Days of Future Past. I thought it was a great movie, but I thought it could have been like a little bit better. And I think Michael Fassbender plays evil Magneto. Or let me rephrase that, because I did love Days of Future Past. I like Michael Fassbender's evil take on Magneto more than I like his good take.
Yeah,
like I want to see him explore that more, and I think that's good.
And I think he brings a lot of good emotion to the character of Magneto as well. Because that character goes a lot deeper than we've seen in the movies. Like he's a very, very kind of complicated emotionally character.
Yeah,
because it's like he's considered an anti-hero in a lot of stuff, but a lot of the shit he does is just scumbaggy. But yeah, it's definitely cool to see Michael Fassbender grow into that evil Magneto.
Well, that's not the only trailer that came out this week, Gio. What else came out? I put it in. I put all the links.
Yeah, we had another trailer. We had a trailer for the first trailer, actually, for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 that dropped.
I'm not interested.
What did you think of the first one? I want to hear your thoughts.
I didn't like it. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't necessary.
Okay,
like, let that franchise die.
Let's just say this. Let's remove April out of the movie.
I don't even mind Megan Fox. Like that's
really,
she's not the problem.
That was my problem with the movie. Was Megan Fox.
She's not the problem for me. I thought she was actually kind of fine as April. Like, but I don't care anymore. I'm not, I guess it's a kids movie. I guess it's a kids movie.
It's definitely towards the kids.
I would take if I had a son or a daughter, like whatever. If I had a kid, I would take them to go see this movie probably, but I don't, so I don't give a shit.
I still have that childhood love for this kind of stuff. Like that's why I still watch. I really love Disney and Pixar and shit like that because I love that kind of stuff still. So my issue with the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie was Megan Fox. I think she was in the movie way too much. It wasn't a turtle movie. It was April and her Ninja Turtle friends. And from this trailer, it looked like way more of a TMNT movie.
I thought the turtles were like a little too sexual in the first movie. Like they were making just like
What?
overtly sexual jokes.
I don't remember that.
It was like a couple times when Michelangelo like made like kind of like a sex joke, I think, and it just felt weird and out of place, and like I I just yeah, I'm not into it. I'm not excited. Totally fine with
We'll
other
move
people
off of
being
that.
into it. Yeah.
We'll move on of that.
That's
There's a
not the
new
other trailer, or not. It's not the last trailer that came up. Did you see the one for BFG I put on there?
yeah,
If we're
yeah,
just
I
doing
have
all
that
the
one.
trailers in a row, then we might
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
Then.
yeah.
Yeah.
We had a trailer for BFG, a new Disney flick directed by Steven Spielberg, which I'm super excited about because I love Steven Spielberg.
My God. Did
It
you
is a
watch this trailer?
yeah, it's a story about a little girl and a giant finding her and like exploring the world of giants, basically showing her all the wonders of the giants world. And I'm super excited. I love Steven Spielberg. I like when he does things that are kind of like super fantasy stuff. So I'm really interested in seeing more about this movie.
Look at this. Bill Hader is actually one of the voices of the Giants in this movie too.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I'm reading through some of the actors in the article right now.
That's
The
really cool.
BFG Roald Dahl was my favorite author growing up, and the BFG was my favorite Roald Dahl book growing up. I loved them all. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Charlie and the Glass Elevator,
Yep.
James and the Giant Peach, The Witches, Matilda, and the list goes on and on. I loved him as an author. I just thought he was so imaginative and creative, and he just found a way to capture my imagination as a kid, and I'm really really excited about this movie. I'm actually thinking about getting a BFG tattoo somewhere
Yeah.
on me. Yep. But it's kind of hard to find real estate and like what animation to pick, because I don't know if
Yeah.
do you remember the animation from Roald Dahl books and how distinct they looked? It looked like a kid
Yeah.
drew them, Like I
Yeah.
loved that. I can't say enough about Roald Dahl. I'm really fucking hyped about this movie. And
Yeah, I am as well.
That's what I
Looks
want to get
great.
across. All right, what else we got going on?
We have a teaser trailer for Tahoe's Godzilla Resurgence. It is a Japanese-made Godzilla movie. It has nothing to do with the most recent legendary Godzilla movie. And it's coming out next year. And from the trailer, it makes it look like a found footage film. And the actual picture of Godzilla looks awful.
That does not look good. Yeah, I saw the picture.
Like his mouth is open and his like it ends like at his skull, kind of like his entire face is a mouth. Basically, it doesn't look good. I feel like they're trying to like rekindle like the classical Godzilla stuff, which I grew up on, and that stuff looked way better than this. Like this looks just like some kind of weird slap together thing. So hopefully it ends up looking better later on. But it's actually kind of interesting that they're doing a Godzilla movie in Japan now. Like they kind of, I guess they're trying to compete or or just kind of rekindle something.
No,
Because I personally really did dig the legendary Godzilla movie that came out recently. I liked it a lot.
fuck yeah, me too. I loved
I
it.
thought it was fucking incredible. Like I'm a huge monster movie fan. That's what I grew up on. And like a lot of people had the issue where they didn't show Godzilla enough, but the whole thing of the classic monster movie stuff was that it was supposed to be a mystery kind of sort
Yeah.
of like it was supposed to intimidate you of
Yeah,
not
we got
knowing.
plenty of shots at the other. What were they called? Mutos. The other.
Mutos, yeah.
Was that
But
what they
yeah.
were called?
I think so. It was like some abbreviation, right? It was
I thought
some
it was Muto, but there was another word for him too. What were the kaiju? Yeah, there you go.
kaiju. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we saw plenty of them throughout the movie. I loved Godzilla. I thought I'm super
I-
stoked for where they go in the future with it, and obviously with the crossover of
Yep.
with King Kong, it's gonna be.
Yeah, I was just about to say that is gonna be so fucking hype. I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be great. Next on the list we have Hateful Eight gets a new wide release date. It has a limited release date in Christmas, so it's only gonna be in limited places. But its original wide release was gonna be on the 8th, and that is on the 1st. So if you don't get the limited release, you get to see it sooner. Because I'm super excited about this movie. I cannot wait for this movie to come out. We haven't really heard a lot of like too much stuff like behind the scenes stuff of this movie.
Well, I mean,
I
the
haven't seen
entire
a lot of
script,
stories.
the entire script leaked.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, this is like 2 years ago. Then he went. I can't remember.
Oh, that's right.
I can't remember who leaked it. It might have been. Well, I mean, once it's on the internet, it's just out there. But I think a major publication ran with the story, and then he wanted to sue them, and he was like really upset about that. He didn't want to make the movie for a while, and then finally I guess he held a public reading of the film, and like he just kind of embraced the fact that it was leaked, and then he just decided to.
But didn't he do like a pretty big rewrite? Because I remember hearing about this. I thought he
don't-
did like a pretty big rewrite of the script.
I don't know, but I don't know if that's really atypical for movies like that. I'm sure
Yeah,
movies like that go through big rewrites all the time.
but I thought it
But
was the leak that forced him to do it. I don't know,
probably. I mean,
but I completely forgot that was this movie.
yeah. I mean, the last his last Django, like the first time he's that's an you know that was another movie for me that I didn't really like the first time I saw it, and then the more times I watch it afterwards, I'm like, you know what, this movie is actually pretty fucking sick. And like I guess I wanted Django to be like super powerful right away. I wanted him to be
Yeah,
like a badass right away.
yeah,
And
you
I
were
didn't,
saying this last week.
yeah. Oh yeah, I guess I am repeating myself. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
super. Every trailer I've seen for this movie has me excited. The cast like is just top
the
notch.
cast is very strong, and I'm
Yeah.
excited about that.
What's her name? Jennifer Jason Leigh's getting nominated for all kinds of awards for
Yeah.
her performance in that, and then also we just saw Kurt Russell in another western. We talked about it last week, Bone Tomahawk, and
Watch that again this week, actually.
did you? It's so
Yeah,
good. It's easy to watch again because it's fucking
yeah,
awesome. Uh, but yeah. Really excited for this movie.
yeah. It looks great. Next story is a horror movie called The Forest, which is based off of the forest in Okigahara Forest in Mount Fuji, I think is
Where
the
people go
base
to
of Mount
kill
Fuji.
themselves.
Yeah, it's Suicide Forest,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
a real thing. Which when I saw this commercial in theaters when I went to go see. What did I go see? I saw some movie in theaters with. I went to Canada. I don't remember what it was.
I saw the trailer for this too. I saw it a
Uh,
couple weeks ago.
and I got really excited because that's a if you're gonna pick a place for a horror like thriller, I think that's probably one of the best places to do it.
And
Because
and
I don't think I've seen a movie that takes place there or has anything to do with that area.
and if we're talking about how beautiful Margot Robbie is, holy
Oh
crap!
yeah,
What's her name? She's on Game of Thrones.
Natalie Dormer.
Oh my goodness, man! I
Natalie
think
Dormer. She is very beautiful.
she's the cat's meow, my friend. She's the cat's meow.
Definitely. But
I'm
yeah,
not a
it
huge
was
horror fan, but I do find this compelling because it's based on a something that's actually pretty horrifying in real life. So I
yeah.
probably will go see this movie.
I'm a pretty big horror fan, but I'm not a fan of American horror because American horror is like it's pretty trash, to be completely honest. Like a lot of the horror stuff that comes out of America ends up turning into slasher films and things like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I watched a lot of. I've been watching a lot of like Western horror films, things like that. Things coming out
Uh-huh.
like Vietnamese and Japanese horror films, and those are actually really good.
You know what?
I really
You know
enjoy
what's an
those.
American horror film that came out recently that wasn't bad was Unfriended. Did you see that one? But like VHS, that's
No,
another.
I was gonna watch it, but I didn't. I thought the consensus of it was bad, so
Yeah,
I
it's
wasn't
pretty
gonna.
good. I liked it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's really graphic, so I'm into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
You said VHS, and I actually really like
it's
VHS. Like
awesome.
VHS 1 and 2 are really good.
I didn't see
I think
two
they're
yet.
I think they're just super creative. I think that I like them just because they're so creative.
Yeah.
Like I like I when it comes to horror, I like things being creative, and if it's gonna be gory, I want it to be creatively gory, things like that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm interested in the forest. I can't wait for that movie to come out. I need some good horror in my life. There really hasn't been any this year that I can name actually.
Can we talk about Kate Blanchett being in talks for Thor Ragnarok?
Really,
Yeah. Did you? I linked that
I
right
didn't see
there.
that story. No.
Yeah, Kate Blanchett is set to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Variety reports that the actress, who just picked up a SAG and Golden Globe nomination for her role in Carol, is in talks to play one of the new female leads in Thor Ragnarok. And what's interesting about this, she will be the first female main villain in an MCU movie.
She's gonna be a villain.
Yeah.
What does it say? What villain she's gonna play?
What they're saying is rumored is it's possible that she would be playing Amora the Enchantress, an Asgardian villain who has served one of Thor's greatest enemies over the year. But then I saw
Oh,
another possibility too. But either way, like you kind of get a glimpse of her as like a superhero horror person when you look at. Remember when she was what character did she play in Lord of the Rings? Like
she played the Queen of the Elves. Or I forgot her name.
there's that scene where she talks about what would happen if she took the ring, and
Yeah.
she becomes like, remember in that scene she becomes like kind of like a demon for a moment.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah,
funny because that character that she played in Lord of the Rings and the character that she might be playing in Enchantress are kind of the same. Like, they're very similar
kind of
character wise.
mythical,
Yeah,
yeah. She, like we. she can pull this off so well. Cate Blanchett is another one of those actresses that is pretty much great in everything she does. And I think she fits in this universe so perfectly. So if
Yeah,
this
I
turns
think
out
that sounds
to
great.
pan out and be true, then I think that's a really cool. And I'm just really looking forward to Ragnarok.
Yeah,
Period. I really liked
actually,
the Dark World. A lot of people didn't like that, but I thought the visuals in that movie alone were just gorgeous.
yeah.
Um,
If you want to talk about watching movies again and getting a better understanding and liking a lot more, I actually watched Dark World last night. I got my Phase Two collection. So I've been watching Marvel movies, and
oh,
I
you
watched
got the
Dark
big
World
ass
last night.
Blu-ray.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I really like. At first time I saw it in theaters, I thought it was kind of underwhelming, but I watched it again last night, and I actually really enjoyed it. It was a solid a superhero flick for
Yeah.
sure.
Did you see that Shawn Ashmore is interested in playing a gay Iceman?
That was my next one. That's pretty cool. I mean, he did come out in the comics recently.
Yeah, that's the whole
Uh,
point. Is that Iceman? I guess he came out in the comics, and
yeah, he came out as
um,
being a gay character, and there's been a lot of that stuff this year about a lot of like openly gay heroes and villains and things like that coming out in comics. This year, a lot of them have done that, and that's pretty cool. I mean,
it
I'm down for that.
it would I don't think that they would ever do that for the movie universe with that specific character, just because he's already had
Yeah.
romantic ties with Kitty and Rogue. So like
Hmm.
I mean it's not like out of the ordinary for someone to date women and then discover they're gay, or like come to
Yeah.
terms with being gay, but I just don't think that would happen for this movie. But I thought it was cool that the actor came out and supported that. Did you see Deadshot rumored to be in the Batman movie?
Yes, which is very exciting because there is a lot of collab comics with Deadshot and Batman teaming up, and they're fucking awesome.
I don't know anything about the character of Deadshot, like nothing. Can you tell me anything about him?
He's basically just a super good marksman, is what he is. He can hit things from miles and miles away and ricochet shots. Like he's done like just insane, unbelievable, undoable things in comics with bullets, like ricocheting off of a Ferris wheel, off of a car mirror, and hitting its target like 5 miles away and things like that. Um, he has no superpowers or anything like that. He's just really good. And he started off as a villain with Batman, and then there's some stuff, some arcs that he actually teamed up with Batman and did a lot of cool stuff with. I only read one. I think it was The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Is
Yeah.
one. I don't really remember it because I was pretty young when I read that. But yeah, they make a really good team up. It's kind of like the whole Batman and Superman team up. It's kind of like an unlikely team up that you would never see coming that really turns out really good and really well done. So if
I
that's
mean,
what they're going for in the movie,
I mean, it seems like they're setting him up to be the main protagonist in Suicide Squad, which would fall in line with Will Smith just personality wise. I think
yeah,
back to that recent comment he made about Quentin Tarantino and how Django should have been a movie that ended with his character um, like solving his problems through love and redemption and things like that. So I'll bet you
yeah,
$5 he never would have signed on to a property like this if his character didn't end up being good by the end of the movie. And
yeah,
and being that would be the case, it makes perfect sense that they would want to bolster the sheer numbers of the appeal of the Batman movie with
yeah,
Ben Affleck by adding Will Smith, who's obviously like a mega superstar.
yeah,
I mean, it's the same reason why they put Batman in the Suicide Squad movie as well. Like they want all these properties working off of each other symbiotically,
mhm,
and I think that would be a really really like compelling team with these two actors together on screen. Really looking for. I mean, like obviously the trailer didn't really get us going last week, but I'm still really looking forward to Suicide Squad and
yeah. I am
seeing
as well.
seeing what Will Smith brings to the table. I think it could be
Yep.
a really fresh look on what the actor's capable of.
I just think the cast altogether, like that's a pretty interesting cast of people to put together. So I'm really excited to see how they work off each other and how what kind of synergy they can make up
Did
on
you
the
see
big screen.
that? Did you see that Peyton Reed says Ant-Man and the Wasp will be much weirder than the original?
Yes, I did, which
That's
is
that's good news. I
which
think that's
is
good
yeah,
news.
yeah. I mean, I'm excited. I didn't like Ant-Man until I saw the Ant-Man movie, so I'm really hyped for that, and it's cool that they're actually gonna be adding in the Wasp because the Wasp is a cool character. He's badass.
They also said that this movie would fit a different genre than the first movie, but they didn't specify what that was. They kept it very cryptic.
A different genre?
Yeah, I can't really think of what that would be because the first movie, when I think of what genre it goes in, it's obviously a superhero film, but I thought it was more of a comedy than anything else.
It was more. It was like it was. I guess the genre would be comedy superhero film, right? Like that would be the whole genre.
I
I guess if
guess.
you could
I
name
mean,
it, it would be comedy superhero. So I don't know what they would mean by this.
it's hard. I mean, I don't know. It's like we talked about it last week a bunch, so we won't talk about it too much now. But Peyton Reed took over for what's his name, the guy who wrote who walked away from the from. God damn it! Help me out.
I don't remember. I don't remember who walked away.
Oh man, I'm gonna get people are gonna get pissed off in the comments. But he took over a property from someone else, and so he did what he could, and he put whatever parts of his vision he could into that film. But I think he was probably largely limited by what was already in place before he had got there. And so
Edgar Wright.
Yeah, there it is.
That's who walked away.
So to hear him come out and say that he wants this movie to be weirder than the first one, I think it's a good thing, because I think the reason why Edgar Wright walked away from the movie is because he wanted it to be a lot weirder too. So we'll have to see like what they come up with, but I love the team. I love what they're doing over there, and I look forward to this movie.
Yep. We also have. Did you hear about Norman Reedus being bitten by a Walking Dead fan?
I did hear about it, but I didn't read anything too into detail. I know he didn't press charges. What a cool guy.
Yeah,
he gets bit, and then he's like, you know what? Let her go.
It's totally fine. That's just a weird thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, when I think about like what was going on through that person's mind, when they right before they bit a TV show star or just a movie star in general, just like what was that signifying? Or just, like, it's just so weird.
What an idiot. Like that's all I can think of is just like, what an idiot.
Yeah, it's just really, really dumb.
They can't be right in the head if they're doing that. There's just either they're extremely attention seeking or they're just not right in the head, but meh.
Either way, they're dumb.
Did you see that Lionsgate is considering prequels for the Hunger Games?
I did.
Of course they are.
And they want to make as much money as they can off this series.
Yeah,
and
they're not gonna stop. Fuck no.
And,
there's gonna be two more trilogies in the next 20 years for this.
Most likely, and probably a TV show. They might even do a TV show if they can. If they can throw that about.
I think they would probably squeeze every bit of value they could have from the movies before they switch to something like TV. But I'm not interested in this.
I'm not at all either. I mean, I love the books. The movies are good-ish. I really like the first two movies. I thought they were really good. The rest, I'm not a huge fan of. But yeah, I don't care. They're just so money grabby.
Do you want to move on to the next section here?
Yeah, it's our theme, right?
We'll do the first themed show first here. Excuse me. So the theme that we're going to be talking about right now is, well, it's not, I don't know what kind of word you would choose to describe it besides theme. Hold on one second. Excuse me. I don't like burping in the mic. But the theme that we're going to talk about this week, or the topic we're going to be talking about this week, is the Golden Globe nominations. And we figured that this would be a good way to kind of like reflect on the year in film, or this year in film and TV, I guess, too, because Golden Globes does TV as well, right?
I think so. They do TV shows and things like that.
So if you want, I can just jump right into these nominations, and then we can talk about
let's do it. Here. I mean, the most important thing is that Mad Max Fury Road is nominated for Best Motion Picture.
We will get to that.
That's important.
Oh, you know what? Let me it's not telling me. Hold on. Let me look up a different site here. Golden Globe nominations. Like, it was telling me the names, but it didn't tell me what they were working on.
So
it'd be like best director, and it would say like the director, but it wouldn't say what movie that was for. Give me a full list here. Can you help me find? Oh, okay, hold on. I think I found it. I'm at Variety. Okay, yeah, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna go all the way down, and we're gonna start with TV. Best supporting actress in a series, limited series, or TV movie. And if we don't have much to say about these because we haven't seen them or anything, we can just like skip over them because I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about. Can you
link me the site you're using as well?
Yeah, I'll link you here in the TeamSpeak right there. And I'm starting all the way at the bottom here. So best supporting actress in a series, limited series, or TV movie. We have Uzo Aduba for Orange is the New Black, Joanne Froggatt for Downton Abbey, Regina King, American Crime, Judith Light, Transparent, Maura Tierney, The Affair. Did you watch any of these shows?
I watched Orange is the New Black.
I haven't watched any of these shows, so I don't, I don't know.
Orange
I
is the
don't know
Black is
about it.
actually really good. It's actually pretty worth getting into.
I hear good things about it.
It's very, very good. Like I went into it having no expectations, and I binged it in a weekend, and it was awesome.
Best Supporting Actor in a Series, Limited Series, or TV Movie: Alan Cumming, The Good Wife, Damian Lewis, Wolf Hall, Ben Mendelsohn, Bloodline. Bloodline is that Netflix show, isn't it? I think. Pretty sure it is.
I have no idea. I haven't seen it.
Tobias Menzies for Outlander and Christian Slater for Mr. Robot. I hear good things about Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot is my number one TV show to come out this year. That is my TV show of the year is Mr. Robot.
Eventually, I will get to that. Eventually.
It will fuck your mind. It will just fuck it in so many different ways. It is so good. It's so well written, so well acted.
I like getting fucked, Gio. So this is a good thing.
It's awesome.
Best Actress in a Limited Series or TV Movie. We got Kirsten Dunst for Fargo, Lady Gaga, American Horror Story. What do you call that? Colon or semicolon? That's a semicolon. Hotel. Sarah Kay, Flesh and Bone, Felicity Huffman, American Crime, Queen Latifah Bessie. I've watched American Horror Story this season, and I've seen Fargo, but I don't know the other three here.
This is crazy because I actually hate Lady Gaga in Hotel.
I don't like her either.
She ruined the series for me.
Yeah, I wasn't into it.
I don't like her acting whatsoever.
It's like, I think she just exudes a lot of sexuality just all the time. And I want to see more than just sexuality from Lady Gaga. You know what I mean? Like, it's just nothing but lady boners. It's just nothing but.
You know who I'd want to see in that part? Like, what was her name? The older lady who played in all the other.
Jada Pinkett Smith. Wait, what? I don't know.
What the fuck did you just say to me?
That's who I want to see in that role. I was just finishing your thought. That's who I would want to see in that role.
Right, I was thinking of Jada Pinkett Smith. Yes. No. What the fuck?
The older lady. What now? Say it.
The older lady who was in the American Horror Story.
Are you talking about Kathy Bates?
Is that her? Kathy Bates?
Kathy Bates was in.
No,
Hotel.
Jessica Lange. Jessica
Lange. Yeah.
Like I think she is such a phenomenal actress, and if she was in that part, I would probably love that season.
Yeah,
like she has made every season that she's been in like just phenomenal because of her parts that she does so well in. And I think Lady Gaga just honestly ruined this season for me. I had to stop watching it. I lost interest.
You know what's funny too is that very few things gross me out, and I was grossed out watching the show. Like I watched it and I felt just dirty, but not in a kind of like. Not in like a Eli Roth Hostel dirty kind of way where you still are entertained. I just felt dirty by the end of it, you know? I felt like I had just walked into my grandma getting changed. It was like that.
Like the rape scene in the first episode.
Yeah, the fucking
holy
shit, like that.
Like they can show this on TV? Wait, what is happening? And I also think another thing that it wasn't just Lady Gaga that turned me off. I also think that they're trying too hard to be shocking.
That's what
they're trying too hard to push the limit of what they can do and push the envelope of what they can do on TV and show. And I think they're just trying too hard. And I think it's real, like it's very, very visible that they're trying too hard. And I think that's kind of a turnoff for me as well.
Yeah, the orgy scene, which ended with her and was that her brother?
It was her boyfriend or whatever that they just ended up murdering them.
Yeah, they just
just bathing in their blood.
I did not like that show.
It's unfortunate. The first 3 seasons of American Horror Story are fantastic, and I think they're all great. But the rest of them, I'm not a fan.
Best actor in a limited series or TV movie: Idris Elba for Luther, Oscar Isaac for Show Me a Hero. I think Luther, by the way, is the series with Idris Elba that you were trying to think of in the first.
Yeah, it was. It was.
David Oyelowo. Wow. How do you say that name? Are you looking at that name? O-Y-E...
Yeah, David Oyelowo.
Oyelowo? Nightingale.
What? Who is that?
I don't know.
I gotta look him up.
Mark Rylance, Wolf Hall. Patrick Wilson. for Fargo. I have not seen any of these except for Patrick Wilson in Fargo, and
Oh,
I can attest to how fucking awesome he is in that role. So I'm with that.
yeah, I've only seen a little bit of Luther, but the parts I've seen were really good. But other than
Uh,
that, I haven't seen anything else.
we'll have more to talk about when we get to the movies here, guys, in a moment. But best actress in a TV series, comedy: Rachel Bloom, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend; Jamie Lee Curtis, Scream Queens, which I actually hear good things about. Julia Louis-Dreyfus for Veep; Gina Rodriguez, Jane the Virgin; Lily Tomlin, Grace and Frankie. A lot of great actresses on that list, but I'm not familiar with
Yeah,
the series
I
yet.
recognize pretty much all those names, but I don't recognize the series they're in.
Best actor in a TV series, comedy: Aziz Ansari, Master of None, which was fucking great, by the
It's
way.
fantastic.
It's really, really good. Gael Garcia Bernal, an actor who I love. He was in Amores Perros and Y Tu Mamá También, and a lot of other good stuff. For Mozart in the Jungle. Rob Lowe for The Grinder. Patrick Stewart for Blunt Talk. I hear that's really funny. And Jeffrey Tambor for Transparent, which I hear is really good too. Best actress in a TV series drama. Catriona Balfe for Outlander. Viola Davis, How to Get Away with Murder. I've watched that show. Wait, which one's Viola Davis? Is that is she the one that's going to be in Suicide Squad soon?
I,
It is.
maybe?
Yeah, she's playing.
Yeah, I
She
think
plays.
so. She's the like the head secretary
Yeah,
person,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or
She's
whatever.
a really good actress. I've seen her in a bunch of other stuff too. Ava Green for Penny Dreadful.
Mm.
That show was a little too weird for me. When I tried
It's
watching
too weird, but
tried watching the first season, but
Eva Green is goddamn.
fuck, man, what did I just see that had her in it? It was like it's like one of the first roles that she did. It's gonna bug
Was
me
it
out.
was it Kingdom of Heaven?
Yes, yeah. I just watched
There.
that. I just watched that. I tried watching it again. Like, the movie sucks. I tried watching that
It
again
was
like
really bad.
5 days ago because I'm like, oh, maybe I just thought it was boring because I was younger and I didn't care about things. And I watched it again. I'm like, no, it's just boring.
It's actually just a bad movie.
Taraji P Henson for Empire. My girlfriend likes Empire, so she'll put that on sometimes. So I'm not like, I've seen a bunch of episodes, but completely out of order.
Yeah.
But I like what I see. I like the music in that movie. I think the acting's good, and the story's kind of interesting too. Robin Wright for House of Cards. I watched the first season of that, but I didn't watch beyond that.
I did the same, and I really liked it. I don't know. I don't think I'm in the mood yet for another season of that kind of show.
Yeah. Best actor in a TV series drama. John Hamm for Mad Men. I did watch a lot of Mad Men. I stopped at about season 6, I think. Is that right? I think so. I might sound stupid if there's only like 5 seasons, but I'm pretty sure it went on for pretty long. This was the last season too, so it's good to see him get the nod. Rami Malek or Remy, I think is how you say his name. Malek for Mr. Robot. Wagner Moura for Narcos. Which one's Wagner Moura? Is that the one that played? Hold on.
The one with the afro-ish hair, right?
Moura. Is he the one that played? Yeah, he's the one that played. God, why can't I think of his name? The Colombian drug lord. What's the show? God damn it, Colombian drug lord.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you watch the show?
Narcos? No.
Yeah. It's a Pablo Escobar. Jesus, I'm an idiot. Yeah, the whole show's about him, and he was like, man, he fucking blew me away in that movie. He's such a good actor. He was also in A Most Violent Year.
Yeah.
Bob Odenkirk for Better Call Saul.
Such a good show.
Yeah, it was a really good show. It was like a different tone, but a very similar tone to
Yeah.
Breaking Bad. So I thought that was cool that they're able to kind of like revisit the same sort of setting and tone, but under completely different circumstances and with like a little bit more comedy in there. So it's a good mix of stuff. Liev Schreiber for Ray Donovan. I've watched a few episodes of Ray Donovan, and he's really good in that role. He scares the shit out of you when you watch his character, which is his job too. I also forgot to mention Liev Schreiber was in Spotlight. He played like the new editor-in-chief of the Boston Globe. And he did a phenomenal job in that movie too.
Yeah, he's a really good actor that needs to be in more things.
He is a really good actor. He really is. Best TV movie or limited series: American Crime, American Horror Story Hotel, Fargo, Flesh and Bone, or Wolf Hall. God, I hope Fargo wins this year. Best TV series comedy: Casual, Mozart in the Jungle, Orange is the New Black, Silicon Valley, Transparent, and Veep. I saw a little bit of Silicon Valley this year, and I thought it was really funny. It was the first time I had watched it.
I hear like mixed things, but mostly it's just kind of just it's funny. Is basically what a lot of people tell me.
Best TV series drama: Empire, Game of Thrones, Mr. Robot, Narcos, Outlander. So I haven't seen Mr. Robot or Outlander. I did see Game of Thrones, Narcos, and a little bit of Empire. Between those three, I think I would want Narcos to win. But but I really liked this season of Game of Thrones too. So I don't know.
This season was really good. I enjoyed it.
All right, now we're on to movies. Best motion picture, foreign language. The Brand New Tell me if you've seen any of this. The Brand New Testament, The Club, The Fencer, Mustang, and Son of Saul. Have you seen any of those?
Nope, none of those.
Me neither. Best animated feature film, Anomalisa. Wait a second, Anomalisa. That's a Charlie Kaufman worked on that, so I knew, that's one that I actually do want to watch. And then there's The Good Dinosaur, Inside Out. We've already talked about that. The Peanuts movie. Did you see the Peanuts movie?
I did not.
Neither did I. Shaun the Sheep movie.
I've only seen Inside Out of that list.
Esme said that The Good Dinosaur wasn't that great, but
I want to ruin my dreams.
Aren't those both Pixar movies? Isn't this
those
the
are
first
both
year?
Pixar.
The first year that so two Pixar movies are nominated for the
Yeah,
same.
I don't think I've ever seen them do that. I don't think that's ever been a thing.
Best original song, Love Me Like You Do from 50 Shades of Grey, which actually had a really good soundtrack. The soundtrack to 50 Shades of Grey was legit.
Well, haven't watched that movie. Probably never will.
Yeah. That was the first movie I saw. Anyways. One Kind of Love from Love and Mercy. Did you see Love and Mercy about the lead singer of the Beach Boys?
No.
I would recommend you watch it. It's good, interesting. See You Again from Furious 7. Obviously, that was obviously good. That song, man, you could not escape it for a while, and it was totally fine with me.
Yeah.
Simple Song number 3 from Youth. I don't know what that is. Writings on the Wall from Spectre. Writings on the intro. Did you see Spectre yet? You didn't see it last week?
No, yeah. I haven't watched it yet.
I thought the song from it was really good. I really, really liked it. If you just
usually Bond intro songs are really good. Like all the Bond movies with Daniel Craig, their intro songs have been great.
Yeah. Yeah, if you get bored, then just look up that song on YouTube or something after we're done and listen to it because it's a good one. Best original score, Carter Burwell for Carol. I haven't seen this movie yet. Alexandra Desplat for The Danish Girl. Have you seen the trailer for that, by the way? The one with
I have
Eddie Redmayne where he's playing. Is it transsexual or transvestite? I don't even know.
I think it would be. I don't know how that works.
I don't know if he was transitioning or if he just like dressing up.
Well, no, because he did transition. He did. He did act. She did. She definitely did become she was a man and now she was a woman.
Yeah, he's really killing it as an actor right now. He's getting nominated.
Yeah,
for
and
Best
I
Actress.
really want to see this movie. It looks really interesting.
It is interesting, yeah.
Looks very, very interesting.
Ennio Morricone for The Hateful Eight, Daniel Pemberton for Steve Jobs, Ryuichi Sakamoto Alvo Noto for The Revenant. So obviously a few of these movies haven't even come out in the States yet.
I'm so excited to see The Revenant.
Yeah. Steve Jobs, I wasn't like totally in love with that movie, but the music in it was good, and Danny Boyle did a good job directing it. Best screenplay, motion pictures. So Emma Donahue for Room. This is the movie that I was telling you about that was about the mom and her son that were being held hostage in a room, and the son didn't even know that there was an entire world that existed outside of the room.
Yeah. Where did you watch that at?
I didn't watch it yet. That's the thing. It's showing in a few theaters that are close to my house, but I haven't made the effort to go out and see it yet. But it's getting good reviews, and it's getting a lot of nominations. In fact, this movie will come up again in a little bit. Tom McCarthy, Josh Singer for Spotlight. That's the one I was talking about earlier. Charles Randolph and Adam McKay for The Big Short. That hasn't come out yet, but it looks great. Have you seen the trailers for that? With
I've seen one. Yeah.
Yeah, quite the cast they have there.
Yeah.
Aaron Sorkin for Steve Jobs and Quentin Tarantino for The Hateful Eight. So we got a solid list there. Best Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture, Jane Fonda for Youth. I haven't even heard of this movie. Jennifer Jason Leigh for The Hateful Eight. Helen Mirren for Trumbo. Alicia Vikander for Ex Machina. and Kate Winslet for Steve Jobs. I saw Ex Machina and Steve Jobs. Kate Winslet was wonderful in Steve Jobs. She did a really, really great job. But I think Alicia Vikander as the what's her name in Ex Machina? What's the robot's name?
Didn't he name her? He named her, right?
Yeah,
I
she
believe.
had a name. I can't remember. But
It's like Lucy or something like that.
no, it wasn't Lucy. Definitely wasn't Lucy.
It was like Ava or something.
Ava, that's what it was. It was Ava.
Was it
Um,
Ava?
it was. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
positive. But what I found out is that she's actually she's a really skilled dancer. And that's one of the
Yeah.
reasons they wanted her in this part to bring physical grace to the role, to
Hmm.
walk as a robot would walk and to have a lot of control over her body. She blew me away in this movie, man. And she's so new too. So
Yeah.
I think she's got such a promising career ahead of her. Also very beautiful. Also, you know what? She was really good in The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which I watched this week. I liked
Oh,
that movie a
yeah.
lot. Yeah, I really dug it.
I'm
I found myself very entertained the whole
I'm
way.
glad.
Yeah. Best Supporting Actor in a Motion Picture, Paul Dano, Love and Mercy. Which one's Paul Dano? Is that the younger version? Paul Dano. Yeah. So you know who this guy is, right? Like
Looking it
Google
up right
Google
now.
Google his name. He played the younger
Oh,
version
yeah.
of the guy. Yeah, he was really good in that. The story of I can't remember his name in real life. The lead singer of the Beach Boys is that he developed I think he struggled with like a lot of mental health issues like schizophrenia, and then there were people that took over his power of attorney for all of his assets, and he was being taken advantage of by a psychiatrist who was looking to profit off of it, the whole thing. It's a really interesting story. It's a true story, and the acting was top notch in that. Idris Elba for Beasts of No Nations. We've talked about him before, but he was great in that movie. Really powerful actor. Mark Rylance for Bridge of Spies. I can't remember who he was. Mark Rylance. I saw Bridge of Spies. I really liked it. Did you see that movie?
I've been wanting to. I haven't been able to. I've been waiting for it to hit Amazon.
Oh, it's pretty good. Oh, he played the. I think he played the Russian in that movie, but Michael Shannon for 99 Homes. I have not seen this movie yet. I really want to see this movie. He's one of my favorite actors out there right now. He really sinks himself in every role he's in. He was really funny too in he had a small role in The Night Before, the new Seth Rogen movie, and his character's not, or him as a person, he's not known for being like super funny guy. He's like really serious and intense with his expressions and body language, and which is
He
why
seems like a
he seems like a what now?
he kind of seems like that. Like just the way his face is. Like he seems like he always looks like a serious person.
Yeah, he even references that directly in The Night Before. His character at one point says something along the lines of, "Yeah, I've been told that I have a quiet intensity that scares people," or something like that. I imagine that that's the case in real life too, because he's just kind of carries himself in a very interesting way. And then Sylvester Stallone in Creed, I was really happy to see that because he did do a really good job in that movie. Of that list, I think I would go with Idris Elba. It would be between Idris Elba and Sylvester Stallone, I think. But then again, I haven't.
Something.
Yeah, me too. But then again, I haven't seen Michael Shannon yet, or I haven't seen Michael Shannon yet, so I can't really speak to that. Best Actress in a Motion Picture Comedy, Jennifer Lawrence for Joy. Have you seen the trailers for this movie?
I think so.
It's by the guy that did Silver Linings Playbook and American Hustle. So a really good director. But she looks so convincing just in the trailer alone,
Yeah.
So this is definitely a movie I will go see. It's interesting that they put it in comedy though, because when I look at it, it looks like a drama, or the trailers. Melissa McCarthy for Spy. I didn't see that. Did you?
I did not.
I do want to watch that because I did hear good things about it. Amy Schumer.
That's the comedy, right?
Yeah.
We're on the comedies. That's
Yeah.
the. I think I know what movie that is.
It has Jason Statham and Jude Law, I think.
Yeah. I've been meaning to watch that as well.
Amy Schumer for Trainwreck. She, I thought she was really funny in that movie, but I don't know if I would. Best Actress seems like kind of a stretch. Maggie Smith, the lady in the van, I didn't see that, and Lily Tomlin and Grandma, I didn't see that. Best actor in a motion picture, comedy, or musical: Christian Bale for The Big Short and Steve Carell in The Big Short. I really, really want to see this movie. Here's what's interesting: Matt Damon got nominated for The Martian, which they're classifying as a comedy.
Really?
Yeah, and then The Martian gets nominated for best comedy later on, and we'll get to that later. But I do not agree with that. Like the movie was funny, definitely funny. Like, more than a few laughs in that movie, but I don't think it was
it was like a charming kind of thing. It wasn't really like supposed to be a comedy. It was just more charming. And
but here's the thing: like basically every scene with Matt Damon in it, he made you laugh. So I get it, kinda, but the overarching theme of the movie was not comedy. I don't think they made that movie to make you laugh more than anything else. I think they made that movie to make you feel suspense and interest and things like that. But I don't know. Anyways, I mean, he was great in that, so I'm glad he got nominated for something. Al Pacino for Danny Collins. I haven't seen this movie. Mark Ruffalo for The Infinitely Polar Bear. I haven't seen that movie.
I don't know what that is.
Best Actress in a Motion Picture Drama: Cate Blanchett for Carol. Brie Larson for Room. Rooney Mara for Carol. I don't know how to say this name. Saoirse. And then the last name is Ronan for Brooklyn. Haven't seen that. Alicia Vikander for The Danish Girl. So that's cool. So she got nominated for Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress all in the same year. The Danish Girl, that's I think that's coming out soon, and that's definitely going to be on the list of things I see. Best Actor in a Motion Picture Drama: Bryan Cranston for Trumbo. Leonardo DiCaprio for The Revenant, Michael Fassbender for Steve Jobs, Eddie Redmayne for The Danish Girl, Will Smith for Concussion. It's kind of a shame that they're nominating all these movies that are coming out like right at the end of the year.
Yeah, they're not.
But a lot of these studios won't release like their heavy hitters until the end of the year because they want it to be fresh in the minds of people that are voting for the awards.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Best Director Motion Picture: Todd Haynes for Carol, Alejandro Iñárritu for The Revenant, Tom McCarthy for Spotlight, George Miller for Mad Max, and Ridley Scott for The Martian. That's a really solid list right here. I haven't seen Carol, and obviously I haven't seen The Revenant, but just based on him getting the Oscar last year, he's obviously established himself as a masterful director. But all these movies are really good. I mean, my heart wants George Miller to win just because that's such a
of course,
my favorite. But you can make a case for all these, obviously, like Ridley Scott, and Tom McCarthy for Spotlight, stood out for me as well. Best Motion Picture, Comedy or Musical: The Big Short, Joy, The Martian, Spy, and Trainwreck. That just seems like kind of I don't know why The Martian is on this list. I mean, that's so weird. Do they have
that is really weird.
Do they have a say in we want to be in the comedy department?
Or they the director or
or the studio? I would imagine it would be the studio. But do they have a say in how they're classified in these awards? I don't know.
I don't think so. I have no idea, honestly. But it would seem like they would.
It's just so weird to me. And when I saw this, I was just like, what? I don't understand that. And then Best Motion Picture Drama, we have Carol, Mad Max Fury Road, The Revenant, Room, and Spotlight. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if... Okay, the last time I remember an action movie being like an awards season kind of contender was Gladiator. And it even won Best Picture. But I think Mad Max is more of a pure action film than...
I didn't see it much of as drama.
Mad Max?
Yeah.
You don't see that as drama?
I don't know.
Well, what do you see it as?
I just saw it as an action flick, but I guess drama does kind of make sense. I don't know. That's weird. It's weird to me.
It's like that old line of thinking: your story is either a comedy or a tragedy. So it's like you can't really split that up into too many genres.
When I think drama, I think
I mean, there's a lot of drama in that movie, dude.
Yeah, I guess that's right. All right, I'm an idiot. I think I'm just stupid.
I don't think you're an idiot. But when I saw this, I I thought it would be nominated, and I think it will be nominated for an Oscar too. I think they just have to, because of the impact that this movie had. You know, it's on so many groups' #1 movie of the year list, and so it would just be the biggest snub in the history of snubs if this movie didn't get nominated for an Oscar. So I'm glad to see this. I don't know if I hope it wins, because I haven't seen a few of these other movies and I want to see them first. But I was really excited to see that on the list. What did you think of all this year's nominees?
I thought they were great. There's definitely a big theme with the movies, that like actors, and a lot of actors and actresses are from The Big Short, Joey Martian, and there was no actors or actresses nominated from Mad Max. I realized as well. Like
yeah, I mean, I think if anyone were to get nominated, it would only be Charlize Theron. Just because the other actors didn't really need a whole lot of depth. Even though I thought Nicholas Hoult as the War Boy, as Nux the War Boy, I thought he did a really fantastic job.
Yeah, he did really good.
And if he would have been nominated, then I would have seen that.
Yeah, I at least expected to see Theron nominated for actress, but that was actually kind of disappointing and unfortunate. But yeah, there's a lot of good names here.
Yeah, she brought a lot of intensity to that role, and that movie would not have been what it was without her presence there. So I'm a little disappointed to see that. I even tweeted about that like a few months ago. I said if she's not nominated for Best Actress, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of obviously a lot of movies on this list we haven't seen yet. Like I haven't seen Trumbo, and The Revenant isn't out yet. The Danish Girl isn't out yet. Concussion isn't out yet. Carol, actually no, that is out. But yeah, solid year for movies. It's really kind of hard to say how I feel about. Well, I mean, just like we've already talked about it, but The Martian being on the comedy list is just really, really weird to me, and it kind of like taints this whole list. But
yeah, it is really weird. It is a weird placement.
But definitely a lot of great actors, directors, composers, movies this year. We were given a treat. Okay, so that's it. Those are all the nominations. If we lacked in discussion because we hadn't seen that, I want to apologize for that. Or we hadn't seen a lot of them. I want to apologize for that. But for those of you that didn't even know what was nominated, now you know. And maybe at this point we can, because we're already reaching the hour and 15 mark. So do we want to switch over to the reader mail section?
Yeah, let's do it.
Did you pick some questions?
Yeah, I've been looking through here.
Cool. All right, let's do that then.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, that was weird.
What happened?
Like my entire PC just froze.
Interesting.
That was weird. All right. Looking through the questions here. I had one that I wanted to read. I can't find it. Oh, here we go. From the Frooster guy. Hutch and Bunny's favorite thriller / mystery movies.
Probably The Usual Suspects.
Usual Suspects?
Yeah. It's probably my favorite.
Hmm.
Like specifically, like thriller and mystery, or
thriller, or like it's / thriller / mystery movies.
Well, actually, if you're gonna, I mean, if I'm saying mystery movies, then I think it would have been Usual Suspects. But like thriller, that's really tough. There's a lot of movies on that list. What comes to mind for you?
Mystery wise, I think Memento.
Yeah, that's another good one too.
I think that'd probably be mine. That or Rear Window, probably mine #1. Thriller wise, that's super broad.
Yeah, if I'm just picking one, I'm gonna go Usual Suspects on that one.
Yeah, for thrillers, I'm just gonna go recent. I'm gonna say Bone Tomahawk.
That's not a thriller. Come on, that's a western.
That's a thriller western if I've ever seen one.
Come on, get out of here. All right, next question.
This question was from. Dude, I gotta make a list of these. Keep losing them.
Yeah, you do need to make a list. What are you doing over there?
I do. I don't know, man. I keep losing all these questions.
You're slacking. I'm gonna find some things right now.
Bit.
How about that? One of us has to do your fucking job, Geo.
Johnny Omegas, do you believe in good movie remakes? If so, what is your favorite remake and what classic deserves a remake?
Fuck yeah, I believe in good remakes. True Grit is my favorite. I would say there's a lot of movies on that list, but True Grit to
Yeah.
me is my favorite. I loved.
Did you watch the Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Did I watch the old one?
No, the I was gonna talk about a different movie, a different remake.
No, go for it.
Did you watch the Total Recall like reboot?
No,
No?
no,
No?
no.
I watched that I want to say a few months ago, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
it was actually a pretty entertaining action flick. Like don't go into it expecting like the old charm of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, but it was actually pretty decent.
You know, RoboCop was kind of an interesting situation too, because I don't think it was a great movie by any stretch. The new one, the remake,
Yeah.
but it was way better than it had any right to be. It was
Yeah.
way better than, and it dealt with like deep philosophical undertones. Like if you take away my entire body and all I have left is my arm and my heart and my head, then who am I at that? Like he's struggling
Yeah.
with that sort of thing. So, and the visuals in it were like top notch special effects too.
Yeah, it was definitely like if to me it was like a really high quality B action flick.
Yeah.
It was like a high quality B movie is what it felt like.
Yeah. Oh, so you did see Suicide Squad, or I'm sorry, not RoboCop.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what was the original question? It was remakes. Yeah. So True Grit was my favorite. What did you say your favorite was?
I didn't say fair. I asked you if you watched Total Recall, but for remakes, shit, I can't even. What remakes can I even think of? I can't even think of anything right now.
Do you want me to find another question while you think
Yeah,
about
do
that
that, and I'm gonna think about this one.
one? Okay. Let me scroll through Twitter and see what we can find.
Oh, you know what? You know what? I got it. I got it. I would probably say my favorite recently would probably be Evil Dead, like reboot wise.
Yeah. Didn't Sam Raimi do the new one?
No, it was directed by Alvarez, I think.
Who's Alvarez?
I hold on.
God,
His
you
name's
know
like
what? We sound like a
Bit-
couple of fucking idiots at this point.
Yeah, we do.
I'm ready to pull the plug.
Yeah, but no,
on this one.
but Evil Dead would probably be my my favorite remake that I've seen quite recently because it was just really good. Like they used what they like a good remake or reboot to me is something they use the source material but they don't do it shot for shot. Like they don't like just completely remake a movie. They kind of like breathe new life into it. And Evil Dead was that. Like it used the same kind of story plot, but it had its own kind of mystery and story and just all out outcome and things like that. So I really appreciated that of that movie.
I haven't seen the original Evil Dead or the new ones, which probably is
Okay.
sacrilege to some people. But I
You
just
probably
never,
should
I
probably
never
fix that.
never made the time to see those movies. Why don't you pick one more good question? See if you can find one more, and then we can close this
See,
thing
I'm
out. 'Cause
finding
we're
out
already.
that this is hard to come by. The good question thing.
Let me see if I can open it on the account on my phone. It's easier to open. The phone app has a cool feature where you can just jump from profile to profile. I don't think you can do that on the desktop version, but
No, you cannot, unfortunately.
all right. So let's see what we can find here. We can find one, man. Come on.
I'm looking. I'm trying.
Are you guys excited about The Incredibles 2? Says Fumez TV. I never saw the first one, but you probably
I have.
yeah.
I have, and I'm super excited. It's been like 6 years since Incredibles 1 or
Actually,
however long. It's been crazy.
You know what? I did see that, and I did like it too. Mikey199 says, "Have you watched What We Do in the Shadows? If so, thoughts?" I saw that movie, and it's fucking hilarious.
It is a laugh riot. It is great.
It's gonna go down. It's gonna cement itself as like a staple for Hollywood Halloween movie watching.
Yeah.
I'll probably watch that movie every year because it's so goddamn good.
It's really good.
Any movies you would like remade that had a good concept but didn't quite nail it? That's from Bodman F.
Yeah, I'm not even seeing these questions you're reading right now.
Well,
They're not even on my thing.
it's on Twitter. Are you
I don't
looking?
even see those.
Are you logged into the account?
Yeah, weird.
This is from 1 hour ago at Podcast Chill. Any movies you would like remade that had a good concept but didn't quite nail it? From Tom Ferreira. This is his real name. I don't know. Any movies that you would like remade that? Oh, you know what? We tackled this question I think last week too, and I think I said The Matrix. I would love to see. I would love to see either a completely new trilogy or a new take on that tale. I mean, I think it would probably have to be a new trilogy.
Yeah, I would like a new trilogy of maybe like a different story or things that are coinciding with the main story or something. I just think they really dropped the ball in the third movie. Like they dropped it so hard
Yeah, it's
with
not.
that third film.
Not
But the first two were they were so good.
Jacob Valentine says your thoughts on episode 9 of Fargo and finale predictions? Question mark. I loved episode 9. Obviously, I think like this is like one of the. It's like if I can think of an entire series or season that was perfect or close to perfect as you can get, then I think it would be Fargo season 2. And I have no fucking clue what's gonna happen at the end. I was telling one of my friends, like, that's one of the best things about this show is that you cannot predict a fucking thing. So you're left with this experience of just like, I'm just gonna sit back and just let this all happen without trying to anticipate anything, because there's just no way you can. Like, you'd have to be the smartest person in the history of ever to predict what's gonna happen. So really excited to see what's gonna happen. Have no idea what's gonna happen.
Got a question from Cryptal Designs. What film or films are you excited to see in the future, or what film or TV show should I watch? I think The Revenant would be my number one right now.
Yeah,
see,
I mean,
film-wise.
Star Wars is obviously like gonna take up a big chunk of real estate there, but but excluding Star Wars, then The Revenant. After that, Batman v Superman. After that, X-Men Apocalypse.
Hateful Eight,
yeah.
Civil War.
We already talked about. There's a bunch of questions about the Batman v Superman trailer. We already talked about that a bunch last week. Let's find one more. All right, last one. Fumez is on fire. I think I've read like 3 of his. What movie twist blew you away besides Empire Strikes Back? So your favorite movie twist in any film?
Wait, hold up. There was a movie twist in Empire Strikes Back? The father.
There was.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, never
It's
mind.
like the movie twist.
Sorry, I had a huge brain fart just now.
Did you eat breakfast this morning?
Funny. No, I did not actually.
I'll bet you that's why.
Movie twist.
Next time, I want you to eat a bagel before we start.
A bagel?
This. Yeah.
I usually eat before we do this, but
An onion bagel with jalapeno sour cream cheese spread.
All right. Well, I don't like jalapeno, so you just ruined that whole bagel for me.
Well, okay.
You ruined a potentially delicious bagel with that shit.
Okay. Well,
so movie twists. I would, because there's so many bad ones and there's so few good ones. Like, there's not a ton of great ones.
You can. Now you sound like a hipster. You can think of something you like.
No, I would probably say like probably my first like real like awe moment movie twist when I was younger and I watched Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Like that's
funny.
Like my most memorable one.
I was my answer to that was gonna be Unbreakable.
Yeah, okay.
Which is like the movie he made right after The Sixth Sense.
Those both had really good twists at it.
Someone ruined the twist of The Sixth Sense for me when I saw it. Like or before I saw it. This is before the internet too. So it's like it was a lot harder to get these things spoiled. And I went to school and they were just talking about it, and the fucking, one of my best friends was just like, "Yeah, he's fucking dead the whole time." I was like, "What do you mean he's dead?" He's like, "Yeah, he's fucking ghost the whole time." So the whole time I'm watching the movie for the first time, I was like, "It's so obvious." But then when I try and watch it, pretending what it would have been like to not know, then no one would have fucking saw that coming. I mean, maybe some people, but
it was that's probably my most memorable.
Yeah, I really like the twist in Unbreakable too, man. Like the reveal that Mr. Glass has been doing it this whole time to try and find his, it's kind of a weird plot line, like really kind of weird.
Basically a terrorist.
Yeah, totally. But
he was literally a terrorist.
But he was only doing it for selfish reasons. He wasn't doing it to further any kind of like social cause or anything like that. He was only doing that because he wanted to find like his logic was like, if I exist, then someone the opposite of me must exist too.
Yeah.
And like, actually, now that I'm saying it out loud, it sounds really dumb, but I don't care. Like, I still liked that movie. I still thought
Yeah.
it
I
was,
think that's one of his greats, M. Night Shyamalan, when he was actually still making good movies.
yeah.
There's only a few.
All right, we should probably end this so you can get a bagel before you pass out from exhaustion here. But do you have some shit you want to run down when it comes to the social medias?
Yeah, of course. If you guys have any questions, if you want to send us viewer questions or even ideas for a theme for next week, you can even throw around names for a potential guest because we haven't had a guest in the last 2 weeks, and we kind of need to bring someone on, spice things up a little bit. We'll try to do that next week.
And
for
we
you
promise
guys.
we'll read through your questions beforehand next week and pick out like questions so we're not scrambling to figure them out on the podcast.
And all that. And you can also listen to our podcast on SoundCloud. That's going to go up pretty much at the same time as this video on YouTube, so you can sync it to your phone and listen to it offline and things like that, so you don't have to be connected to the internet and keep YouTube open and things like that. All previous episodes are also on SoundCloud as well for listening and things like that. You can follow us on Twitter, is where we read most of our questions and theme ideas and potential guests. It's at Podcast Chill on Twitter and all that good stuff. And I'm Active Bunny Fufu on Twitter, and you are
Z. Oh my God, it's Hutch. So Z0MG, it's Hutch. Or if you just search for Hutch on Twitter, then that should be like probably the first thing that pops up, I think. But yeah, thanks for coming by the podcast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and we wish you guys a safe and fun weekend. Bye bye, guys.
I'll see you guys later.